Hi there, it's Lori, Positive Thanks Living. I'm going to be doing today, right now, the day 22, which is tab. Now these are digitals from ink and page journals. They're Junk Journal January prompts, which is here. And I'm also doing the prompts from Junk Journal January UK. 22 is mismatched. I'm going to take an easy concept. I have the two of them, tab and mismatched. So I'm going to mismatch these tabs. You can see they could be the same, but they're going to be different. Then I'm going to do dyed and contrast. Day 23. Now I'm going to make a tag out of those. Dyed is the Junk Journal ink and page, and contrast is the Junk Journal January. And I have tea dyed paper here that I've been using, and this is food color dyed paper. I do it out in my garage. I'll link below in the description to a video where you can see me spritzing on my food coloring or tea dye. So let's just do this very quickly. I'm going to cut it apart and glue them mismatched together. I think I'm going to do one with a pattern and one with just a lovely I suppose you'd call that a pattern also, but it's more like watercolor contrast. And cut them out. I'll speed this up very quickly so you don't have to sit and watch me cutting out tabs. And there is our mismatched tab. Okay, that is for day 22. Now, day 23, I've written the one beside it. We have dyed in contrast. The difference between dyeing paper and painting paper, I had to look it up. I thought I knew, and I did. But dyeing paper, the color goes into the fibers. Painting it is just the surface. So there you go, that's the difference. I'm just going to use this tag as a template, and this is in the ink and page set of digitals, this one that you see. Go. And here we'll do the same. They're going to be contrasting dyed papers for tag. Simple ideas, but sometimes simple is just the way to go. Do you dye paper? Have you ever dyed paper? A tea dye, coffee dye, food coloring dye? I usually dye enough in one shot, and it's usually in the spring, hence the food coloring, because it's usually Easter egg food coloring. I do it in the spring as the weather gets warmer, and then I'm able to use the rest for the rest of the year. I'm on my last few sheets of tea dye paper, so I because it's January, I may have to do it sooner than I've done before. But that's okay. I can do 1 or 2 sheets just in the craft room if I really want to. And you can see the different designs. It's from putting on plastic tablecloths, and so the food color dye just goes into the paper with the food coloring through the, leaving the spaces that have white here. That's the part that has plastic. You get the idea. It's not rocket science. And let's give this a little bit of glue. I use the free magazines that come in the mail to be my glue stick. My glue book, sorry. All right. We were crafting in person together with people from the area where I live. We did this yesterday, and one of the ladies taught us how to do magazines as a journal, just by folding in the papers. So I started one. She brought enough for everybody to play, and I started one. So when I'm done Junk Journal January, I might just show you what I've been doing, because I want to play with it in the evening when it's hard to eat, snack when you have gluey hands. So that's my plan, is to craft in the evenings. Even if I want to watch some TV, I'll do it while I craft. And here is a contrasted dyed tag. I think this would look so cute with one of the forest creatures from Junk Journal UK, Junk Journal January UK on here. How about that? Let's make it into a little pocket or a tuck. Nope, a pocket. A torn pocket on here. Just like this. And inside can go one of the many tags that are in the digitals. Okay, let's put some distress ink on the top. So this is day 23, dyed and contrast. Tea dyed and food coloring dyed paper. And the contrast is because one obviously is tea and the other one is the food coloring. Here we go. Let's put this down. I'm going to have to rip this off because it's on the edge. And then I'll do the rest of the tag. So there's no need for digitals if you don't have a printer to print it out. you can make your own dyed papers or paint them as you wish. All right, here we are. We've done 22, we've done 23, distressed and balance. How am I going to handle that? Distressed and balanced. I gotta give that some thought. We've got mismatched and a tab and dyed and contrast. Next is distressed and balanced. That I'm gonna think about it. See you soon. Today's video is going to be my craft space refresh video. You're going to be able to see my craft room and what I do to keep myself motivated. Join me on Tuesday and let's get back to finishing up the crafting now. Hi there. Yep, I'm back. Okay, so I gave it a little bit of thought. Distressed and balance. What if I made a little booklet and it's balanced on each side, sort of, and I want to make this into a pocket. It's going to go in here. So it's narrow enough that it'll go here. And distressed, I use some sandpaper to distress one side. So it's the same piece of paper, but I distress one side. With the sandpaper kind of rubbing off some of the image, so it is quite distressed. If you felt it, this is very smooth. This has now been scuffed up to the point where I'm removing some of the what do you think? That's one idea. Let's I have a cart beside me here. You'll see that on Tuesday, my cart. Do you use a rolly cart in your craft room? If I had more floor space, I'd love to have more than one rolly cart. All right, that's distressed. Should we distress some of this here too? I've seen people use distress tools, but I don't have one of them. But I do have just little scissor, and that's distressing the edge. Definitely not the way it was before. Okay, here's some, so one side is distressed and one side is plain, and that is a balance. How's that? So we put a little ink on here to show to highlight how distressed this is. How distressing. Okay, here we are. We have day 24, distressed and balance. We have dyed, which is food color dyed and tea dyed, contrast. And we have tab. I've put the tab onto this little tag, I guess, and it can go in here. And a little bit of this is wool. Somebody gave me what was left after they finished knitting some slippers or crocheting. And shall we do one more thing on this tag? The bigger one. I have some words here, and I can put a little tag in there, and I can put a square tag here. So I have all of these. I've backed them with tea-dyed paper, so they're gonna go in the journal somehow. All right, yeah. 3 sides to make a little pocket, and it can go here. And this one can go up here. 3 sides. Years ago, someone mentioned on a video, when you're gluing, to make sure you don't glue the area you don't want to glue, hold it in your hand. That way. You only glue the sides that you want to glue. So I try to do that. I'm not always successful. Now what I'm doing is sort of pushing at the edges here. I'm trying to make a little bit of space, more space in the pocket. It's too late for this one, but okay, this can go in like so. This is art glitter glue in here, and it dries very quickly. Let's put this down here. I might just make this into a little belly band, this one, and see if I can add something in here, because I have some really small tickets. Do something like that. See? We'll decide later. In the meantime, I would like the word peace up here. Should we do the same thing? Okay. And this can go in here. I love these cornflowers. I'd like to learn how to paint them. And this can go in here. How's that? Should we put a little something here? A little something here. There we go. Do you like that? It's different. So we have a tag with tags in it. And we have a distressed but balanced little booklet. I have an idea for this frame here to go on a page. I want to find my dried flowers and put them in between here, and then I'll trim on the outside and put it into a page. This page, I think. It'll become like a pocket, and this will go in like this. Anyhow, you'll see it next time we're together. I'll show you quick before I show the rest of the, or maybe at the end of the video of my craft room. So make sure you join me on Tuesday. I'm really excited about this. I've been planning it for a while. My week is about having maintenance and momentum. So I address both. Last year, I was a part of the collab also. And it was about cleaning up your craft room, making it neat. And I've used a lot of the concepts that I learned last year to shape my craft room now. This is the accordion little thing that we did on Tuesday. I've added some flowers here, and I may add other things as we go through. But I thought, let's hold it together with a little ribbon, and I have the day 21 rest tag there, or tag, it's a label. Yeah, it's coming together, and I don't think I'm going to miss having a second signature. One signature seems to be okay. I have enough pages left, even full-size pages. Isn't this cute? I really like this. Yep, there's enough space to finish out January. We're getting close to the end of January. Wow. 23rd today, huh? All right. We'll see you next Tuesday, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye for now.